Here's what you gotta understand. Kazuya Amiibo is the smartest amiibo AI that the developers have ever put into Smash Ultimate. It destroys everything. The character is already broken. The amiibo AI is already broken. It has the best combos of anything ever at all. So today we're going to put the community's amiibo through the Kazuya Amiibo Gauntlet to see who can survive the Kazuya Amiibo. The Kazuya Amiibo is nuts. Certifiably, truly, completely, totally insane. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. The way that the developers have programmed the Kazuya Amiibo is that it basically has access to most of the combos that a human can do within reason, right off the bat. Like, it's a little bit ridiculous. So I figured, well, screw it. I want to see what can actually beat the Kazuya Amiibo. Like, consistently. Now, I'm expecting when this thing actually releases, we're going to get approximately 800,000 of those strongest amiibo videos where, YouTubers are talking about, oh my, can you believe this combo that's built into every single Kazuya amiibo that he hit me with, right? So I figured, screw it. What bins do people have? Like, what kind of amiibo do people have that can beat the Kazuya Amiibo? So today, I've got, probably 24 amiibo-ish, give or take. That's an estimate. And we're going to see what the Kazuya Amiibo is vulnerable to. Fair warning, this is my Steve versus my Kazuya. I'm just using it as an intro. This Kazuya Amiibo is nothing to write home about. It's really not that bright, all things considered. This Steve, however, is pretty solid, I like to think. I don't know what this Kazuya Amiibo is doing, or why. I mean, it seems like that was a pretty good indicator that was going to explode, but everybody reads the world differently. So, anyway. Don't take this Kazuya as an example of how to train your own, because God, if I know. I mean, I don't think anybody really does. He kind of does most of it himself. So, if you're interested in how I train this Kazuya Amiibo, I do have the full... Oh, damn. Sorry, potty mouth. I do have the full, unedited... I guess it's put together, but the full footage on the Amiibo Doctor Extra channel, which you can see somewhere in... I don't know what area I'm pointing to, but somewhere on the screen, I'm sure. One of the things that I really like about this Steve that my Kazuya doesn't really have much of a way to deal with is that he juggles, especially vertically. I do think Kazuya kind of gets wrecked by juggling, and people haven't realized that much yet, but he does have a hard time dealing with stuff like that. But the $5.99 always wins. First one up is First Awesome Man, or when I am as I call him, Game & Watch Amiibo. I apologize, I got multiple submissions from multiple people and I just couldn't decide which one I wanted to do. So I said, screw it, I'm going to pick one at random, and his Game & Watch one, but I believe 1AM sent in multiple Amiibo. Now, if memory serves, this is a pretty solid Game & Watch, and the forward air edge guarding is really doing a good job of it. If my Kazuya wasn't an absolute parrying whiz, he would be having a significantly harder time right now, I think. Part of the difficulty of dealing with Kazuya is that while he doesn't have much range on anything, and he's really not that fast, everything kills all the time. And if you haven't killed him by 100, he's just going to do that, So your best bet as an amiibo when dealing with Kazuya, I think, is either comboing or swords, more so comboing. But even then, if you've got one that can parry, you might be toast. But this Game & Watch is a phenomenal edge guarder, if that last segment didn't prove that to you. One of the things we're going to be keeping an eye on is the various built-in combos that Kazuya has. I did not train him to use these combos. I don't even know how to play the Kazuya character well enough to start those combos with the moves that they need. So I just don't know what to tell you on that one. And that move, I don't think I ever figured out how to actually do that move. The Amiibo just started doing it on its own, and it killed. And I was like, dang, that's pretty cool. That's highly effective. So one of my favorite, we might see this, I think we saw this against Steve already, but one of my favorite options for Kazuya is down smash edge guard at the ledge. It doesn't work often, but when it does land, even at basically 0%, it is highly effective. Of course, we didn't need that because Kazuya can read tech rolls. That's right, the Amiibo knows where you're rolling. Next up is Combine's Steve Amiibo. I'll admit, Combine, I was kind of hoping for your Jigglypuff, but that's all right. In fact, you might have sent it, and I just didn't notice. We have a bit of an in-joke. Combine is always trying to train the Jigglypuff Amiibo and make it better, which, you know, in one sense is incredibly brave and inspiring because Jigglypuff is terrible in every possible way, and in my opinion is the actual worst Amiibo in Smash Ultimate. On the other hand, you know, it's not clear to me that Jigglypuff can be improved. So it's kind of like, well, shucks. You know, I was really hoping to see what else can happen for that. But this Steve is fairly competent with his grabs and throws, as far as I can tell. I saw that parry. That was a good parry. I like it. One of the issues fighting Kazuya is that grabs have a lot of base knockback. I mean, everything has a lot of base knockback with Kazuya, but grabs especially have a lot of base knockback. And so if he's kind of camping out, that's a built-in combo, by the way. If he's kind of camping out near the edge, and you really are screwed no matter what you do, because he can parry, get up attack, at least mine can. I expect most Kazuyas will be able to. He'll just grab you and kind of throw you, you know. It's really like, you're just toast, you know. Uh-oh, up to 100. Just about. One last hit, and then, yeah, that's another built-in combo. That strong, I want to say that was a strong forward tilt. Yeah, the thing I really hate about Kazuya, get him up to 100, and then he gets a free kill on you, basically. And he gets that every single stock. It's the best spirit in the game, I like to think. So, fortunately, this is Dreamland 64, which is a pretty large stage. Not currently legal in tournaments because there is a recovery glitch with the ledges, and Nintendo is never, ever going to fix that, because why would they? However, well, it's still a nice stage, and I like it. Oh, by the way, you'll notice that my Kazuya's name is Armstrong, and he's wearing a suit and tie. Standing here, I realize that you're just like me, trying to make history. Who's to tell from right or wrong? Okay, that was a Metal Gear Solid Revengeance joke. If you know, you know. If not, go join the losers table, because you're not one of the cool kids. Up next is Ruffles' Inkling, Agent Woomy. I'm pretty sure this is like his most highly... Ruffles is kind of an Inkling god. Ruffles' Agent Woomy amiibo is probably one of, if not the best Inkling amiibo. Very much proving my point on the juggling. Dang, son. That's quite the juggle right there. I always get a kick. I don't see Agent Woomy very often, which I shed a single manly tear when I think of that fact. But when I do, it's always a delight because he astounds me with something new and interesting. For starters, ink refill. That's usually pretty hard to get an Inkling to do correctly. It took us several years as a community to sort of figure out how do we get Inkling to properly do that. And then, of course, the charging the smash attack. That's kind of difficult, but Inkling actually has a thing where if he runs you over with the roller, then he will charge his forward smash and then kill you. And the problem is, Amiibo mash way faster than humans do, 30 inputs per second, so the berry typically doesn't work. And there's Kazuya's free kill in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There it is. I truly didn't. I'm watching this as you're watching this. Like, I mean, my TV monitor is on a half-second input lag from my computer that's processing this video, but otherwise I'm watching this as you're watching this. I was just a lucky guess. That down smash right there for Kazuya, it doesn't usually extend into a free hit, but it basically does, because the Amiibo has really no way to respond to that. Good lord, that knockback. Besides, like, trying to tech or air dodge, and either way, Kazuya can follow up on that. There's just nothing you can do. I love the 10-hit... I hate fighting Kazuya Amiibo, but I love the 10-hit punch on the Kazuya Amiibo because most Amiibo really don't, like, do anything about it, you know? Also, wow, that recovery AI. The air dodge to the ledge, pixel perfect. Has Kazuya lost yet? I don't think he has. I think the Steve almost got him. Steve is kind of, like, built to beat Kazuya, though, if you can get him to juggle properly. But yeah, I love the 10-hit punch, just because it's like 50% free. It's not really a KO move, but it doesn't have to be. And no, that didn't kill. Ooh, here we go. It's going to get interesting. No, it's not. We all know who's going to win this. It's Kazuya. Kazuya always wins. He always wins. Except for Senator Armstrong. Senator Armstrong lost and Raiden killed him, and I'm still a little bit upset about that fact. Now, if this Inkling can keep edgeguarding like that, I love the down tilt of the ledge. It's very smart. If this Inkling can keep edgeguarding like that, never mind. I was going to say, she might be able to take this. She didn't take this. Look, I'm going to level with you guys. I have no idea whose Banjo Amiibo this is. I got an email from somebody whose real name I'm not going to say on video because that would be rude. From like somewhere in Australia, and I was like, oh, okay, well, he didn't include a trainer handle, so we'll just see what happens. But this is an odd. Okay, so what am I watching here? A lot of forward smash, probably musket method. I would go so far as to say that if that's from our banjo guide, I need to update the banjo guide. That's right, I need to pester Hector because Hector's banjo is cracked, and so is Volkysaur's. Anyway, in fact, we covered that last week, didn't we? I do like I mean, except for the fact that my Kazuya is parrying everything, which is not much you can do about that. I kind of like this banjo strategy. Get the down tilt, go for some grabs here and there, right? This is one of those examples where parrying just kind of is the thing that's required. It's sort of the stealth rock of Amiibo, because you either have to run it, you have to have your Amiibo do it, or you have to prepare to get wrecked by it, and it's more effective on some than others, but it is pretty much required. Somebody's got to have parrying, somebody's got to have stealth rock, right? So, and this banjo is a good example because in the pre-parrying meta, this banjo would have absolutely destroyed. Just complete, like before people were really, really good at parrying, this banjo would have crushed anything and everything. It would have been an absolute nightmare to deal with. Now, the parrying puts my Kazuya full stock ahead. Also, just the fact that he's Kazuya kind of, $5.99, right? But I guess, what do they charge now? $6.99? That's inflation for you, man. An extra $1 since Smash 4. What's it, 8 years now? Something like that. So, but otherwise, no, this is an example of parrying, man. You gotta have the parrying. By the way, that whole trip into the I don't know, the Ganondorf kick, Ganondorf forward tilt kick thing, that's also built in. I keep forgetting to mention that. And for some reason, landing with, I believe that's forward air, is oddly also built into the Amiibo. And by the way, everything you see out of side B, that's also built in, okay? Next up is DaveK's Little Mac. You might remember DaveK as the trainer of that Simon Belmont that completely and totally made me cry during the first Amiibo Patience tournament a couple months back. He's trying something new with this Little Mac, very unorthodox from what I understand. I'm sure what he told me in the email was highly interesting, but frankly, I kind of glanced through it and downloaded the bin. Anyway, no, I actually did read it. I just don't remember what it said. Yeah, so when I say built-in, by the way, I mean that is a preset or predetermined series of actions that the developers have given every Amiibo of that character the ability to do, whether you train it to or not. Okay? That's, the whether you train it to or not part is more true for Kazuya than really any other Amiibo. Because other Amiibo, they have combos that they can do, right? But they have to start the combo with the move, and then it's a matter of probability whether or not they finish the combo with the other moves in the combo, right? But with Kazuya, that's not really a problem, because they just let Kazuya do whatever he darn well pleased. Here comes the free kill or not. Okay, well, that works. I like the down smash at ledge. Down smash at ledge is good. Makes me shed a single manly tear. Oh, the slip behind the retreating, what was that, forward tilt by Kazuya? That was cool. I don't know how useful that was, but that was cool. Get the punch. Oh, well, that's not really... All right. This kind of goes to show you that Kazuya is the new king of the ground, as far as I'm concerned. I was hoping to put him against some Ryus and stuff. I think Rukasu sent in a Ryu, but that... Oh, no, that's right. He sent in a Terry. And we're going with the Terry later. But yeah, Kazuya is the new king of the ground. And the ground is kind of the thing that you need to be on, or else you're going to fall and die, and that's not good. This is Frostbite's Meta Knight. I feel like Frostbite has had a good Meta Knight before. I don't know if this is the one, but I'm trying to remember kind of well. Yes, no, maybe? I don't know. Just for the record, stage choices are all random. The order is also randomized, so I don't know who's going next. I'm not planning any of that. This is all just off the cuff. Really nothing fancy about it. I love the down smash. I think down smash is very important for Meta Knight. I think anybody who hasn't trained a Meta Knight before really should be... Ooh, he has a stock... He has a stock advantage. Have we seen this before? I don't think we have. I guess Steve had one, but otherwise, no, he hasn't seen that. Oh, and the down... Oh, this ought to be good. Dude, if this Meta Knight can beat Kazuya... I don't know if I have enough fluids in me to shed a single manly tear because it hit 104 degrees today and I'm really, really, like, not dehydrated, but I guess I'm kind of sweaty. But still, maybe I'll spare enough for one, maybe a half tear kind of rolling down, and they'll just stop, like, right there on my cheek. Son of a gun, he's getting the edge guard. Oh my goodness. Frostbite. Frostbite. What did you give this? Okay. No, he's still up a stock. What did you give this Meta Knight? He's doing a lot of it right. I mean, he's kind of dominating the ground with down smash, right? Kind of beating Kazuya in his own territory. He got the edge guard earlier that led to the kill, right? Oh yeah, that's one thing. The landing Nair. The landing move of Nair, smart. Very smart. I am going to bestow upon you 5 IQ points for doing that. That's very smart. Just talk to your local school counselor and be like, hey, this guy on YouTube gave me 5 IQ points. I need that reflected in my record. They'll say, what are you talking about? Stare them in the eyes and say, Amiibo Doctor says so, and they'll do what you tell them to. I don't make the rules, I just take advantage of them. Dude, if he wins. I'm not even, like, attached to this Kazuya amiibo. I kind of hate him because I tried fighting him the other day and I literally couldn't beat him. And I can beat pretty much every amiibo given, like, 5 matches. Oh, no. Oh, he's going to recover. Oh, but he's got the free kill. Kazuya. Okay, so dang. Okay, so here's what this Meta Knight did right. As I kind of said this before. He controlled the ground. Big deal. That down smash comes out on frame 4, if memory serves. It's one of like 3 moves I actually know the move data on. Down smash comes out on frame 4, covers both ends, right? Forces Kazuya to roll. It's an aggressive Meta Knight. It's an offstage Meta Knight. It's landing. This Meta Knight is schmoovin', right? A schmoovin' means I'm always throwing out hitboxes and attacks. Now, Meta Knight also mostly has multi-hits in his moveset. It's very difficult to parry against a Meta Knight. You've seen my Kazuya parry everything under the sun in previous matches, right? But in this, he really couldn't parry all that well. Just because, you know, it's Meta Knight, right? So, good Meta Knight. Love it. Chef's kiss. Okay, this is Angel Lego's Hero. I never really know like how to think about Hero. I always theorycraft like a hero that kind of spams projectiles and uses some forward air and sword shenanigans would, you know, at least do kind of well against Kazuya. I didn't teach him that Nair stuff, by the way, but that's built in. Reason I say that is usually because in the first tournament, or no, second Amiibo Patience tournament, a hero did exactly that and did pretty well against the Kazuya that ended up winning. Oh, no, I'm sorry. The Kazuya that won the second tournament got beat by a hero in the first tournament. So, love the projectiles, enjoying the projectiles. The campiness works. It's very annoying to fight against, let me tell you. This is like, I wouldn't say it's a human-like hero, but this is it's clever. Ah, but then he gets the almost free kill. That is one of the things I really hate about Hero, especially the amiibos at the up air. You're just not going to get any, like, you can set up combos maybe, but only as a human. You can't do it as an amiibo, right? His up air is completely useless. There are people who think it's not. Those people are wrong. His up air is terrible. Psych up, I love it. He's at 145, but go for this. Oh, and then he parries it. I feel kind of bad. Because, you know, you go through all the psyching up and you listen to the Rocky theme and, you know, you kind of lift your weights and get your cardio in, eat your carbohydrates, and then boom, he parries it and you're just gone. You're just gone. There it goes. Rest in peace. That is, so Hero and Meta Knight's down smashes both. They hit on both sides. And I've found, especially when fighting raid bosses, that is pretty effective. Because often an amiibo will roll. If they parry it, whatever. But if they roll, then it catches them. And, you know, I'm sure it's less optimal to roll than to parry. Oh, snap! I did not see that back air coming. Oh, that's brutal. He just kind of, bink! Kicks him off to the blast zone. And, you know, there's tons of base knockback because it's a man in a suit. So, dang. But no, those down smashes, I often use down smashes like that a lot when I'm fighting raid bosses. They're very helpful. All right, so this is Iguano's Ice. Is that right? Iguano's Ice Climber? Yes, Iguano's Ice Climbers. We also have his Kazuya coming up. He was the only one to send another Kazuya, and I was like, you know what? We'll give him two submissions. He told me that these Ice Climbers are the best he's ever trained. I do not understand the Ice Climbers amiibo as well as, I mean, there's obviously AI shenanigans and things like that, but as far as how to like make a good one, I don't really understand how to make a good Ice Climbers amiibo that well. I've tried several times. The secret has always evaded me. It keeps me up late at night when I should be thinking about other things. I think, how do I make a good Ice Climbers amiibo? But this one seems to have done pretty well thus far, until they get grabbed. Oh my goodness, they have a lead. This is getting interesting. One of these things that these Ices are probably going to end up doing pretty well is juggling and edge guarding. Those are your two secret special sauces, ladies and gents. If the Meta Knight didn't show you, I guess the Meta Knight didn't juggle, but if the Steve didn't show you, if the Inkling didn't show you, the way to beat Kazuya is juggling and edge guarding. Say it with me. Don't bother saying it with me. It's a silly... What is this, Dora the Explorer? We don't do that here. They're really building up a lot of damage, too. I mean, that's effective right there. One of the things I really hate about the Kazuya amiibo is that it will use its up special as an attack, and you can't get it to not. So it is prone to being juggled by putting itself in the air all the time. But there's that. That's built in case you didn't catch that, because there's no way that it would have otherwise done that on its own. Oh, he sets it up and then he drops because he was gonna do the input for whatever that crouch thing is called, but the platform dropped. That's funny. That's funny. Yeah, people don't realize this, but Amiibo are actually doing controller inputs as well. They're doing literal controller inputs. And sometimes in situations like that, you see those controller... Dude, they might beat this. Oh my goodness! Juggling and edge guarding, man. I'm telling ya. They juggled. Not a ton, but they juggled, right? And then they edge guarded. It's highly effective. Not in that specific match, but the Ice Climbers, especially with Geyser, especially with Up Air, great juggling edge guarding characters. If you want to beat Kazuya, I just hypothesis, you know, because sometimes people are like, Amiibo Doctor, you said something in a video like a year and a half ago that we don't agree with anymore. I'm like, come on, relax about it. Hypothesis, juggling and edge guarding. If the year is 2024 and you're watching this, you're like, man, that's such an incorrect statement. Sorry. Anyway, let's move on. Oh, I have to pause this. Hey, that's a good idea, so I can like tie in the next recording and make all that work. Okay. So I didn't plan this, but next up is, I'm pretty sure, Iguano's Kazuya. I find it funny that this is named not a Shoto because, as everyone knows, all 2D fighter characters in every 2D fighter game, including Smash, are immediately Shotos, no questions asked. So, you know, that extends to Kazuya, Terry, Ryu, Ken, and of course Mario. One thing that this Kazuya is doing that mine Kazuya doesn't, I guess I kind of taught my Kazuya this, but I didn't do a very good job of it. He's doing that like 2-hit spinning kick, right? Works really well. Chef's kiss, wonderful. If you watch the Amiibo training, the Kazuya Amiibo training video that oh, that's a built-in combo. This is the start of a built-in combo. It goes on longer than that. But if you watch the Amiibo training video, I tried to do that. I guess I forgot that there's a 4-hit version because I kept doing the 4-hit version, and I was like, oh, well, that looks good to me. But this is obviously a vastly superior Kazuya Amiibo than my own, and that's fine. I'm not really worried about that at all. But we are not going to be switching over to this one because, frankly, I want my Kazuya Amiibo on screen to have a shirt on, and this one doesn't. So let's keep our shirts on, please. Thank you. Okay. Otherwise, this doesn't seem to play all that differently. I see some of those, what do they call them, the crouching moves, whatever they're referred to as. I don't remember. But no, I'm gonna have to steal some of these strats, man. Do some retraining of Kazuya for the guide. So most of Kazuya's AI is just stuff that he can already do. It's already built in, but there is still sort of a selection and a move choice, you know, and then behavior and playstyle frequency. So you do have some uniqueness when it comes to Kazuya, but not that much. Oh snap! So he's still got the free kill. Does that last forever? Like when he takes enough percentage, he loses it, but there's no time limit on it, is there? Yeah, he takes one more hit, that's gone. And there it goes. Rip. Believe that didn't kill? How did that not kill? I guess it's Kazuya versus Kazuya. Nothing kills. Kazuya is unbeatable. It's like putting buttered bread on both sides of a cat. It just spins forever because it can never actually land with one side down. See? Kazuya versus Kazuya, nobody wins. Alright. This is Hector's Lucina. Hector told me that this is the latest and greatest in Lucina models. This is the 2023 Ford Lucina Special Edition Sports Package included. That is, oh yeah, that whole Nair thing. Oh yeah, I mentioned that earlier. The Nair thing was built in. Yeah, Nair's built in. All the Nair shenanigans, that's all built in. I probably give Hector far too much attention on this channel. I don't mean to play favorites. Hector just does a lot more crazy crap with Amiibo than anyone else, so you know, you just kind of have to roll with it. I am curious to see. I've said that sword fighters can outrange Kazuya. I've said that a lot, actually, and now it's time to see, is that true? And then the important question is, maybe they can't outrange Kazuya, but does it matter? Because he can just parry stuff, and sword fighters usually don't have multi-hits. What is with that backflip? That's kind of an odd... I don't think I've ever seen Amiibo actually do that before, like the whole graceful backflip thing, back and forth. At least not like that. Oh, she got out of the 10-hit punch. Oh, but then she got into the 10-toe kick. Get it? Because there's 10-hit punch, 10-toe kick. Alright, that's fine. I guess it'd be a 5-toe kick, because he only hit her with one foot. Alright, Doc, you goober. He's just crouching. He's like, yeah, you know what? Approach me. I dare you. Oh, the down smash almost landed. Man, that would have been cool. He goes back for the back air again. He could have done anything else, and it probably would have done pretty well. But he went for the back air. Because he was like, you know what? I like watching suffering. It brings me joy. You know? That's what he did. Right there. Okay, this is Omina's Byleth. This is Ferdinand. Pretty accomplished Byleth, if memory serves. Don't ask me to explain how it's accomplished, because I do not remember that for the life of me. But I know that people talk about it like it's really good. So that's probably good enough for me. One of the important things to note about Byleth, Byleth has a lot of range, in case you didn't notice that by the repeated times that this Byleth has used a lot of range. That plays into Kazuya, because if that side B connects, then, you know, Kazuya's kind of out of luck. He can shield it, he can parry it, right? The Kazuya Amiibo AI is smart enough, and it's good enough at this game, that if it doesn't connect, if it shields or parries it, it'll just rush in and say, hey, you know what, screw you. And Byleth really has nothing to answer that with, because his side B has so much end lag, as we see right there. Parries the side B, Kazuya uses the thing like right into that and gets into the thing, disables him, and then does whatever else Kazuya does. I do love the over-the-shoulder throw, his back throw. He's just like, you know what, I'm not just going to throw you. I'm going to, like, ruin my rotator cuff doing it, and it's going to be delightful, and we're going to do it several times a match, and you're not going to ask me why. That's kind of the problem with Byleth, though, is, like, that side B is very, very parryable, and it's very, very weak to parrying, right? So you take a Kazuya that can parry. He has no range whatsoever. If you take a Kazuya that can parry, you're a goner. And, it doesn't even have to connect. Now, to be fair, the side B is really powerful, so it only needs to connect like maybe 1/3 of the time. But, it's not even connecting 1/3 of the time, just because there's so much parrying going on, right? So that's kind of a character weakness of Byleth. And Byleth really doesn't have any multi-hits to answer that with, right? Like, parrying tends to get beaten by grabs and multi-hit moves, because you can parry one thing, but you can't parry 8 of them, right? So Byleth, a little bit SOL on that front. Alright, this is RAPJM's Wario. He says it's a community Amiibo lemon. I have no idea what that means. Anyway, this is a Wario. Money! Wario's very greedy. Yeah, I trained a Wario Amiibo with Moonwalk Method the other day. By the other day, I mean about 3 weeks ago. which is not that long for me because 3 weeks goes by really quickly when you have a summer internship. However, trained one the other day turned out terribly. This one is probably vastly better already than mine ended up being. It was the pit that sort of told me, hey, maybe Moonwalk isn't so great with aerial opponents, and then this Wario pretty well confirmed it. He's a real disappointment, and I regret him every day. So, at least we're talking about Amiibo and not our kids, right? You know, like that's just a horrible thing to say to a kid. You're a disappointment. I regret you every day. Like, maybe let's not say that to people. So, one of the things I've always enjoyed about Wario is that he always looks like he's just kind of there because he wants to be. Like, you're not actually a threat to him. He's just allowing you to be in the battlefield with him, you know? And then, of course, he dies, and then he's kind of shocked because, how did I die? I'm Wario. And it's like, yeah, but, you know, different rules apply. This isn't Wario Land. This is a pretty solid Wario, all things considered. Seems to have a lot of the fundamentals down. Let me take some socks off. How about that? One of the things that I really hate about the Kazuya Amiibo is that you see a lot of really good Amiibo, and at the end of the day, they still just get trashed because Kazuya is just broken as hell. He just is. He's the best Amiibo by far. There's really no debate on them. Well, best Amiibo by far, asterisk, Incineroar Loveland Whip. But otherwise, not including literal AI flaws that render moves unavoidable. Oh, I love the kill. Yeah, no, he's the best. And I'm kind of sad to see this Wario go out that way because, you know, it was a cool Wario while it lasted. All right, this is Psythe's Donkey Kong Amiibo. Green, named Hulk. Obviously a reference to The Thing from the Fantastic Four. I've been told that there's a lot of hype around Donkey Kong recently, and I have no idea why. He seems to be a profoundly uninteresting Amiibo. But, you know, people gonna hype. It's kind of the circle that happens. It happens for about 3 months. People get really excited about an Amiibo. They're like, oh my goodness, guys! This is the best thing in the world. It's like, actually, no, it's not. But, you know, I've never been guilty of that. Surely not me. No, sirree, Bob. I never make mistakes. Anyway. No, this is a pretty squared away Donkey Kong, as far as I can tell. You know, it kind of got some AI shenanigans going on here with, like, grabs and stuff, turning around and grabbing. That's not so great. But what is this, Moonwalk method? This feels like it's Moonwalk method. Maybe it's just because he's turning around a lot. I'm having, like, flashbacks, you know? It's interesting that it didn't go for, like, the zoomed-in camera. Like that zoomed-in camera when he grabbed the thing. It didn't go for that. That was really odd. I wonder why that was the case. Love the up B on stage, man. It's a multi-hit. It carries opponents to the edge. It's a KO move. Love it. Perfection. Some people will say that's not perfection. Those people are idiots. It's perfection. Oh, and the down... Dude, if he was, like, just a scotch over... Oh, man. Mamma mia. That is beautiful right there. Yeah, Donkey Kong is one of those Amiibo that's always been like, you know, what even does the optimal Donkey Kong look like? Like, he just kind of screws around the air and he kind of screws around the ground and just sort of beats you up. And that's about it, you know. All Donkey Kong play styles look the same to me, unless they use cargo throw. Right, like that's literally it. That's the only, and just because I'm a knucklehead, you know, because I don't play that much Smash anymore. I just don't have the time. But all Donkey Kong plays, I definitely don't watch Smash. I don't have the time for that, especially. But all Donkey Kong play styles look the same. Can he pull this out? Can he pull? He might be able to pull this out. That would be super dope. Get the up air juggle, dude. If he pulled this out, that would be without juggling or edge guarding. Okay, dude, that forward. The Ganondorf forward tilt. I don't know if you ever played Brawl. A lot of you are probably too young for Brawl. A lot of you were probably born when Brawl came out. But Ganondorf Brawl's forward tilt was the stuff of legend. I loved it. It was beautiful. That reminds me of that, you know? So, anyway. Pause, dang it. This is Rukasu's Terry. I had a little bit more time left in my evening. It's only 11:15 p.m. at night, and I don't need to crash until midnight. So I figured, screw it. we'll throw in a couple more rounds of Amiibo. This Terry's name is Come On, which is obviously a reference to Melee Fox's taunt. Come on! Because there definitely couldn't be anything else that it's a reference to. This is the Battle for the Ground. Rukasu also has a Ryu coming up, so stick around for that. And this is where stuff gets interesting because Terry's Go moves are very large, as I'm sure you noticed at some point in time. Problem is, you know, he can't really use... There you go! Golly, it took you long enough. Keep watching, waiting, being like, okay, when's it gonna happen? Any day now. Oh, he got the first kill. Let me close that door. A bunch of shenanigans going on outside. Okay, there we go. Get him, Terry, get him. Yeah, one of the most interesting things to me. I guess I should have put this on the Omega stage. You know, after this match, we're gonna go best 2 out of 3, and we're gonna put this on the Omega stage. I want to see how this goes. I always love putting the various Shotos of Smash Ultimate on 2D fighters and seeing what happens. Heck, we could put them on Heavy Smash. We could just simulate Street Fighter right here. He's winning, too. I think that jab power dunk is really... Well, because the thing about jab power dunk... You know, Terry and I was going to say Rukasu. Terry and Kazuya are pretty much at the same range, like, all the time, you know. So you're ending up with evenly matched opponents, but Terry has multi-hits. And it comes out faster, because what's Terry's jab come out to? By the way, look at that DI on the Kazuya. Amiibo have perfect DI, by the way, in case you didn't know that. That's kind of the problem with Battlefield Plats, is that if you're below, you win most of the time. And so it really just becomes who can get below, who can drop down first. And Amiibo don't handle platforms very well. So that is just RNG, in my opinion. Especially when you get 2 evenly ranged, relatively evenly matched Amiibo like this, then it's just who's on the ground first. Oh, I love the parrying. Also, jab power dunk gives him like 35% free. Not that I'm complaining, because this is Kazuya we're talking about, but nonetheless, gives him like 35% free. Get him, Terry, get him. Uh-oh, here comes the free kill. Yes, no. No free kill. Ooh, here we go. Terry might pull this off. We're still going 2 out of 3, though. I want to see how that... Oh, shoot, we're just going to do a full set. Why not? Get him. Somebody get somebody, all right? This match is going on a while. What do we have to do now? 3 minutes? Do some getting while the getting's good. 75 and he's still not dying. Thank you! All right, okay. Woo, yeah, okay. Game 2. Yeah, that's the rule of Kazuya Amiibo matches. Takes longer than 3 minutes. It's too long. I guess I didn't put them on Heavy Smash, but that's alright. See, the thing about Omega stages is that Kazuya has plenty of room to do all his shenanigans. All his various combos. And Terry has a lot of combos, don't get me wrong. Before Kazuya, it was probably Terry who had the most combos of any character. But Kazuya just dominates in that regard, you know. Dude, I love that Terry. Double roll with the spot dodge. This is a very good Terry. I realize I've complimented Rukasu on his training multiple times. Maybe not out loud, but definitely in my head. But still, this is a great Terry. Now, if it beats me a second time in a row, then I'm never going to put Rukasu on this channel again. But otherwise, no, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. That would be vindictive, and I don't do that shit. And see, now Kazuya was trapped in the same problem, or I guess, 10 seconds ago, he was trapped in the same problem that he was trapping others in, is that whenever he got up from the ledge, he would go for the grab, right? Well, so does Terry. So does Terry, you know. That's one of the really cool things about Terry's, what is that, a bicycle kick? It's a 2-hitter, right? So and it's not one of those moves where like you can parry one, it kind of parries the rest of it for you, right? You have to actually intentionally parry each one. So if you have an amiibo that is not great, we're even now. This is gonna get really interesting. If you have an amiibo that is not great at parrying, it's almost definitely gonna get hit by the second move, if not the first. So his bicycle kick or whatever they call that. Soaring axe kick, is that right? That's kind of a weird name. That is gonna like prove help. That's always proved helpful, but it's really helpful because the AI prefers to spam the hell out of it, and it's kind of hard getting it to nod. So there you go, Kazuya finally finding an opening. About time. He's almost dead, so better pick a spot and take it, buddy. I love how he went for the what was that, an up tilt or something like that, and then went for the rest of the combo. You know, it's like, dude, you're not going to connect that. Like, there's no way. Oh, snap. Oh, my goodness. Ganondorf forward tilt again. I'm telling you. All right, we're going. I know this isn't what I planned. We're doing game 3. I wasn't really sure if I should go to, like, you know, Battlefield again or what. But then I was like, well, the platforms kind of mess with both of them, but it's also fair for both of them, so screw it. We'll just go with Omega stages again. Yeah, legit, the only thing... personally, dead serious when I say this. If you took Kazuya and you cut his knockback down to like 80% of what it currently is on all his moves, and you cut his, you know, so long as like they still function, and you cut his damage down to 80% of what it is in all his moves, he'd be like an A-tier amiibo. Still the best AI in the game. But what carries the hell out of Kazuya is his moves. Is just the ridiculous strength of the character. You know? The devs obviously made it very easy to train a good Kazuya, which is why mine has won so many matches, because believe me, this is the first Kazuya I've ever trained. Like, there's no way that this is a good Kazuya, right? Just all Kazuyas are good. But nonetheless. Oh, snap! Oh, that dodge! Oh, but then, you know, the forward tilt kind of takes care of that. I do get a kick out of how Terry and Kazuya have, like, the same up smash. They're from completely different series, but they're both Shotos, so they have to have the same up smash. I don't make the rules. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Oh, he still gets the air dodge. Kazuya's going off the edge just because he can. He's like, I have wings. I can do it. It'll be perfectly fine. There's no way this could backfire on me at all whatsoever. I'm completely safe at all times. But he's got that free kill now, see? If Kazuya connects with... Oh. Doesn't he usually lose that at like 140? I was going to say, if Kazuya connected with that, then that would be a KO right there. love the shielding. Very aggressive shielding. The joke being that shielding is a defensive move. That's fine. We'll work on that. You know, one thing I have noticed, I trained with Kazuya to do not a ton, but a little bit of forward smash. Haven't seen a single one this whole evening. A little surprised by that. Well, also a little surprised that Terry is winning. Well, I guess I shouldn't be. It's Rukasu's Terry. You see what I mean about the parrying? He parried the first one, but he didn't parry the second. Oh, get the down smash? No. That's a oh, snap. That's a whole chain right there. Get the side B into the little trip and then the back throw. That's built in. That's a whole shebang. Dang, okay. That was a heck of a set right there. We're gonna have to go back to your regularly scheduled programming after this. My goodness. Who's next? I guess I should look at the sheet instead of trying to figure out on camera. Okay, so this is from somebody who didn't give me their trainer handle, but they titled it V Cloud Mark 1. And I know for a fact I've seen this amiibo before, and I just can't remember who sent it, so I apologize for that. But anyway, Dan, that was a set right there. I'm kind of surprised my Kazuya won, because Terry definitely outplayed Kazuya on most of those stocks, then Kazuya just won the $5.99. So, Rukasu, if you're watching, and I know you've got to be watching, because you watch everything I watch, you watch everything I make all the way through, right? Wink, wink, not judge. Alright, anyway, I bestow upon you plus 3 stud points. Plus 5 stud points is a little bit much for an amiibo, but still, plus 3 stud points. Ooh, this is something that Cloud has. So his Blade Beam. Really helpful against Kazuya. Not in general, but when it's got the limit break on, right? That's a big deal. Because that's a projectile that can kill, and Kazuya really has no answer to that. So we kind of like those. Oh, the forward smash kill. Yeah, this Cloud was in my tournaments. Why do I not remember who sent it? I don't know. It's been a long day. I'm actually filming this the night before it's supposed to go up. Like, I'm literally going to wake up in 6.5 hours, because it's 11:30 at night, and, like, edit this thing for 5 hours. I guess probably not that long, but still edit this thing for a while, process it, upload it, and then go about my day. Like, you guys don't realize this. I am busy all the time. All the time. Like, literally, I usually haven't even started on videos until Friday night because I just don't have the time during the week. Oh, the dodge. Oh, jeez. You know, I guess I have to take back what I said earlier about Swordy's outranging Kazuya. I know Cloud isn't a more traditional Swordy, but he's not really outranging him. You know, the forward smash is helping, obviously, don't get me wrong, but he's really not being all that impressively outranged here, you know. I think I guess if I had to summarize what makes the Kazuya Amiibo so great, it's not the combos, it's none of that. It's that it positions itself. As I'm watching this, you know, it positions itself well relative to the ledge. It positions itself well relative to the opponent, you know. It always knows what attacks. I mean, that's built into an amiibo. Like, an amiibo always knows which of its attacks can hit at any given time. It references the functional hitbox areas. Functional hitbox areas are true to the attack almost all the time, except in, like, really long, large moves. But no, like, it's the positioning of the Kazuya Amiibo that makes it so good. Like, that makes a lot of sense now. Which is also why juggling and edge guarding are so effective, or have been so effective against it, because those are both the only times when Kazuya is in a disadvantageous position. Because when you're getting juggled, he has no response to that besides air dodging. And when you're getting edge guarded, well, he's got his up special and his ridiculous jump, right? But you can eventually wear those out. And so if you're a repetitive edge guarder, then you can, you know, make that sort of thing happen. So that makes sense. That makes sense. Okay, up next is Georgie, the King K. Rool. Oh, I guess I wasn't planning to fight this one for like 2 more amiibo. Whoever sent in Yetzira, the Sephiroth, I think you sent me an untrained amiibo bin file, because that's how my power tag is scanning it. So it could be someone else's, but I think it's Yetzira, the Sephiroth. Actually, it might be the Mii Brawler. Yeah, that's right, because there was a Mii Brawler that this guy was he sent in as. I took a Mii Brawler named Giga Chad from this trainer, and I took Georgie, the King K. Rool from. I don't know who the trainer is. It just gave me the real name, and I need a trainer handle. Wow, that dash attack is like surprisingly effective. Yeah, K. Rool's dash attack, man, I hate that thing. We'll see how the other power tags scan, but I'm pretty sure that's how I did it. Oh snap! That worked. All right, here we go. Now this is a match. Before it was an exercise. Problem is, King K. Rool, kind of combo bait, you know? Fortunately, this isn't an Omega stage, so platforms kind of save him from time to time. But, oh, he's going to edge guard. Or not. Alright, well, there goes your best tool. Oh, here we go. The edge guard. Is he gonna pull it off? What did you go into this stage? Oh, well, that works. Okay. We'll take that. That works. They're kind of just poking at each other. You know, like they're sort of just throwing out a hit here, throwing out a hit there. Like Kazuya is connecting some stuff here and there, but otherwise they're just sort of playing batty cake with each other. This is a pretty typical K roll, as far as I can tell. Really nothing necessarily off the wall about it. Did pretty well against Kazuya, that's for sure. That's impressive. All right, moment of truth. We'll see how those power tags stack up. Okay, so I guess I was right about the power tags. Neither Yitzir, the Sephiroth, nor that Mii Brawler functioned properly, so that's a little bit disappointing. This is Rukasu's Ryu. That was his Terry we saw, probably 10, 15 minutes ago. And this, of course, is his Ryu. We're not going to be giving him the full set just because we've already done that. So this Ryu, this is actually the best Ryu I've ever seen. To be fair, that's a very small pool, but nonetheless, best Ryu I've ever seen. Gee, Doc, why is this the best Ryu you've ever seen? Aside from just being the best Ryu I've ever seen, one thing is particularly noticeable about this Ryu. And you'll see this a lot, okay? We've actually already seen it a couple of times here and there. Strong forward tilt into up special. It's free kills. It's basically the Ryu equivalent of a jab 1 follow-up. Except it's obviously not jab 1, right? That is one of the most ingenious ways to secure a kill I have ever seen on a Ryu. And I never thought about it, just because, see, there it is. That's what I'm talking about right there. Just hit him with the old elbow and then uppercut, see? So, very ingenious. I've never seen another Ryu do that, ever. I didn't know he could do that until I saw this Ryu. I don't know how effective it is. Because, like I said, very small pool of Ryus, but, it's a very, very smart strategy, I think. Ryu's best move, I would say, is still Red Hadouken, just because it's a projectile, it's a multi-hit. Doesn't kill, it's never going to kill, but it does good damage. And so that's all it takes, right? It's good damage. The Beatles saying, all you need is love. What they should have said is, all you need is damage. That's a joke for your grandparents. They'll love it. See what I mean? He just gets it. It just almost dies. Now, granted, Kazuya is like a super heavyweight, so you're kind of screwed on that front. But still, if this were someone else, he'd be A-okay there, partner. There you go. That down tilt into side B, also very smart. I don't remember if that's built in or not. That might be built in. Don't quote me on that. I swear, if you quote me on that, I'm going to slap you. All right, that's a silly thing to do. Oh, dear. Oh, got robbed on that one. All right. Well, this was fun. Thank you, folks, for running the Kazuya Amiibo Gauntlet for and with me, I guess. I'm really sorry to everyone whose Amiibo I couldn't get to. I ran out of time. It's almost midnight. There were a lot of Amiibo to pick and choose from. I tried to pick by character as opposed to whoever was training, And then, of course, some people just sent in bin files that didn't work. So I'm really sorry about that. But at some point, maybe for an Amiibo analysis or something like that, we'll try and get people mixed in. So really appreciate everyone who submitted. It was very fun. I'm not going to fight this. It just occurred to me I should fight this Kazuya Amiibo myself. And it's like, oh yeah, I have a 30 frame input lag on that TV, so there's really no way I could beat that thing. But Anyway, huge congratulations goes to... I thought there were more. Well, to Frostbite's Meta Knight, to Iguana's Ice Climbers. Weren't there more amiibo that beat this? I feel like there was one more. I mean, there was Rukasu's Terry, but we had the best of 3 on that one. Anyway, huge congratulations to everyone whose amiibo beat my amiibo. Very cool. You clearly are good at what you do in some aspect. I mean, it's not what you do, because that implies that this is your living and this isn't your occupation. You don't get paid for this, I hope. And if you are, let me know. But otherwise, anyway, all right. Let's call this quits. I got to wake up very soon and edit this video together to have it up by 4 p.m. tomorrow. So, maybe Doctor. Oh yeah, and yada yada. Subscribe. Okay.